This is the trailer to Alto Knights. Wait, did DeNiro direct this movie?
No.
No, someone else has directed it. Anyway, going to find out. This is his brand new movie. So, yeah. Oh, it's always prestige when you've got someone walking in front of the logo. You go, wicked De Niro. Gangsters.
I mean, so far so good.
Vito Genovese, you go, oh, he's back. Gangsters. And then you go, okay, there's another De Niro.
Two De Niros.
Where do I start?
Where do we start?
You're going down a very dangerous road. And we ain't been down dangerous road before. But that's the risk you take. Me, I take it. But you're not where I am. I give to charities, I pay my taxes. Let's remember something. I put you where you are today. It's because of me. Mr. Good Citizen, you want to be like them? Come on, you ain't like them. They own this country. They're bigger gangsters than we ever could have been. All of a sudden you want to be half thin, half hot, half a racketeer. You can't have it both ways.
But the question
You're either in
I still have, because I haven't bothered to look it up.
or you're out.
These are two different characters, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah. And they're not even related. So they're not even brothers. So first I thought they might be twins, like Tom Hardy in Legend playing twins, or in Social Network. But no, they're two completely different, unrelated characters.
I don't want to make a lot of noise. Noise? It's a fucking gun.
What happens now?
Who would have thought that the weak link in a movie would be Robert De Niro?
I need to find a way to take it all down.
Well,
You and me, we are our own family.
he sort of went through a period, I feel like it was in the early noughties for a long time, where he didn't do any of this stuff.
Yeah.
He sort of rejected the mafia and the gangster genre entirely. And then when he was still, like if he was like he was in The Score, you could I think he had a lot more range back then, and Barry Levinson. Barry Levinson, sort of a hit and miss, but then again has made ultimate classics.
Yeah.
So what can you say?
Yeah. Well, I mean, ultimately for me, disappointing. Disappointed in him, disappointed in De Niro. Like, just get... Like, because everything else about the trailer I actually like, and I think it looks pretty good. It looks like it was made for adults, by adults, and you go, everything looks competent. Like, it might be...
It's not the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not for 40-year-old children. It's for actual adults who might be
Yes.
interested in something with, a bit more to it than, the comic books you read. But then why two De Niros?
Well, it's
Just do one De Niro. Just get someone else.
No, but the pitch is, how people loved The Irishman. What if
But
there was two Irishmen?
I hated The Irishman. And again, De Niro to me was the weak link in The Irishman. Pacino surprised me. Like I haven't seen a good Pacino performance for a while. I just kind of
I completely agree with you. I
Al's
think
back.
Pacino, that was the best Al Pacino performance in decades.
Yeah.
In decades.
Yeah.
You watch The Irishman and I was like, everyone's going to be terrible in this movie. And he was magnificent.
Pesci, I think, was fine.
He was fine. But then again,
I missed him so much.
he hasn't been in a movie.
No, he hasn't. Yeah,
And when he comes in, isn't he in The Good Shepherd?
yes,
Isn't he doing the same shit in The Good Shepherd where he's just like, I got called up for this and I'm just going to read the lines and go home?
yeah, he's in like one scene,
Which is still better than a lot of other proper
Yeah.
actors,
Yeah.
having him just reading lines and going home. But this movie is a total affront. And I mean, what can you say? It's horrible because I guess we have to say that Robert De Niro is probably... It's offensive to say one of the greatest actors of all time. He's in contention for the greatest actor of all time. Do you know what I mean? Like if it's Brando and him, like we're talking about just a couple of people, you know, really. And so it's when I say one of, I don't mean one of like 10. I mean one of like 3
Yeah.
of the greatest actors of all time, and he's had decades of service and given us so much. You know, from do I need to go the Deer Hunter, Godfather Part 2. You know, even Midnight Run, even when he did comedies, it was great, you know. And then you've got his late stuff that was a bit of fun, like The Score and whatever. I know you don't mind Ronin.
I'm not huge on The Score. Ronan's a bit of fun. He's great in Ronin.
They're fine. These movies are fine, and they're better than a lot of other people's work. So this is difficult to watch this when everyone who made this movie and everyone who made this trailer had us in mind when they made this. They said, you guys are going to love this. Sit down and you're going to love this. It's just you can tell by the lighting, the way they've shot it, the editing, the music. They didn't do any sort of Martin Scorsese rock and roll, sort of 50s rock and roll ironic music. But we're like, okay, well, it's obviously a different sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then to just I just cannot process these two guys. Like, this is almost like, I heard recently that Tom Cruise said that one of his childhood dreams was to ride a motorcycle off a cliff and to parachute down. And he'd like sketched out that stunt when he was a child, and he got to fulfill it now at the age of 60, which is an incredible story, you know, really. Yeah. And I can only imagine that this is the end stage where, you know, the last outpost is DeNiro saying, I always wanted to play 2 characters.
I wanted to be both the leads in the movie.
Yeah, I always wanted... You know what really got in my way was those other actors. And he was sitting opposite to Pacino in Heat, just looking at him, just going...
It would have been better if I was both. So that's actually when you look at his reaction shots where he looks to be contemplating, he's actually thinking...
He's not thinking about the heat around the corner or any of that stuff he's saying. You know, I got to take you down. He's thinking about, you know...
I should be...
I could have, instead of 2 trailers... I could, like, you know, it could just be one big trailer for me.
2-story trailer.
2-story trailer.
Just one trailer on top of the other.
And it's me. And when I'm upstairs, I'm Frank Costello. And when I'm down, I'm this fucking other guy, Genovese or whatever. Anyway, it's atrocious. It's no good. It's embarrassing, and it will be forgotten. And, you know, it is like watching a loved one just... become decrepit and irrelevant right before your very eyes. So it's terribly sad.
So you're going to watch it in the cinema?
Absolutely not. Imagine paying $50 or whatever it is now to go to the movies.
And then having to, like, get a babysitter for your kids, go through all that, you know, abandon your family for the evening to go watch this while a sea of teenagers light up the seats with their phones and constantly on social media, so everyone's got like little...
Now we're getting into his whole thing about it. Like, you know, I don't like that, but he doesn't like that, really doesn't like that. Let's face it, the next movie we'll be at the movies to see will probably be Top Gun 3. And that's the sad truth of it. That's where we're at.